I believe I know. That's all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I'm double booked. So, yeah, why don't we start? All right, we're all here. So roll call. I need to make a motion to.
You don't want to start.
Yeah, so whisper in my ear.
Just call it the order.
Hey, meeting's called to order of the governance committee. Dan Castle,
Here.
Thomas Banks.
No,
You're not on the,
present.
you're present. Michael Breeden here, Jeremy Toth. All right. I think my work here is done.
The form is established.
Indeed. And the meeting minutes from the last meeting.
How about this? You want me to run the meeting?
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be delightful.
So, motion to approve the January 16th governance committee meeting. Motion. Second. Reading, second by Kenny Cancel.
I do have just one question. I don't have a problem with them, but in each one, like the review bylaws, MWD, it just said discussion ensued, but there's nothing in the minutes that describes what the outcome of that discussion is.
I don't think you guys take any action.
Okay,
You just review.
okay. I just didn't know if that was gonna be our kind of standard. And sometimes people do minutes to say as little as they need to.
I mean, I think
People say way too much.
committee minutes are less maybe.
Yeah.
Important than,
Okay,
so I'm fine with that.
that's fine.
Thank you. All in favor for the mission statement? Or for the minutes?
I
Aye.
All right, so based on our ABO annual reporting, we have to review our mission. And we have to adopt it annually, so we see any changes to the mission that needs to take place here. And I'll read it. Our mission is to create a foundation to address the broadband needs of unserved areas, improve services in underserved areas of the community, and enable world-class broadband investment and deployment county-wide.
Is this when we had last year? Is this the first time? This is the first time.
Yeah.
It is. I like it. I think the only thing was, I like the wordiness where we see address the broadband needs of unserved areas. Then improve services in underserved areas of the community. I don't know why we can say of the community in the first one.
Yeah.
We don't need to say of the community. And then say, and enable world-class broadband investment and deployment throughout Erie County. Just so it brings it to Erie County.
It with the unserved and underserved, it seems like it would be
So do we
pulled
want to,
together.
Well, but I think that there's reason to leave them separate. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
funding
Oh, yeah.
change. But I just don't know if we need to say of the community in one. We're addressing broadband needs of unserved areas of the community as well. So it's really just, can we take out of the community? And then instead of countywide, just say deployment throughout Erie County.
so you don't want to say address broadband needs of unserved and underserved areas.
We could say it like that, but the broadband needs of unserved and underserved areas. But I mean, I like improved services in underserved areas. It's really just the three words of the community.
Mission is to create a foundation to address.
No, I think address the broadband needs of unserved areas, good. Improve services in underserved areas, comma, and enable world-class broadband investment and deployment throughout Erie County.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that look.
Sort of glaze.
All right, so then what we'll do is that we will, now then forward this, suggestion to the entire board to Boston. So this will be a recommendation.
That for today's board meeting.
No.
Next one.
Or-
Next one.
Mhm.
Moving on to number 4, we had some discussion about the bylaws at our last governance committee meeting. Melissa sent legal counsel Bob Murray the respective sections. So Bob, if you would mind taking us through those sections.
Thank you, Thomas. So I guess right from the agenda, item 4 was review bylaws to amend deputy budget director to budget director. So then if you look in your board package, your committee package on the third page, there's a yellow highlight of the particular provision within the bylaws that the request has been to amend. So it's currently this section has to do with a number of the members of the board of directors. It currently says the Erie County Deputy Budget Director ex officio. So the changes, if it can be changed, and the answer is of course yes, to budget director. So if that's what this committee would like to recommend, I think I need to double check the certificate of incorporation because the certificate of incorporation might have the exact same language, so we have to amend the, not a big deal. We have to amend the certificate of incorporation first and then amend the bylaws.
I thought the resolution that was passed at the legislature said budget director. The authorization when it was created.
The resolution passed it.
Didn't we have a resolution that went to the legislature? We talked about, I thought we did, didn't we?
You may have, right, because the Erie County Ledge created the entity.
I'm ready. I don't know if you got that specific in that resolution.
Well, I remember questioning at the time because it gave specific names of everyone. It didn't say title, it said names.
No, that was in the initial resolution to create ErieNet
Oh, okay.
from the initial member standpoint.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just looked at it today, because I was asking that same question. I'm gonna have to double check that the legislature.
I don't know, I maybe I'm confusing it with that.
Yeah.
When the
Because
resolution.
it did have a specific name.
But it had specific names, and I thought it was kind of odd that there was names and not titles, but.
But I guess the effect is that we're okay
We-
changing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Change.
and then are you, Courtney, do you have by any chance the certificate of incorporation?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
I can look at it while we're meeting. If I have no objection to that change, but let me just ask this, will we lose Mark then, or is he
You
going?
know, the intention is because of his anticipated vision and legal remain on the board. To have an effect. Because he's anticipated to change.
Okay, so what if we change this today, well, we can't do it today, if we change it today to director, that's not him anymore.
It would have to take, like, April.
Okay. This can, I mean, by the time we file this and move, I mean, that can probably very nicely
Sure.
happen. I mean, there might be a donut hole for a little bit, but,
Short time, yeah.
okay, I'll circle up with Courtney, but yes, if that's what we want, we can make the change. I'll just confirm if we need to change it to
It
July.
says Janine Doyle, Janine's obviously not there.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, this is the
Oh,
original.
hold it up, great. ErieNet. That's our file saving portion, okay, and what does it say for, that was our initial numbers, right?
Right.
Keep sliding down.
You know.
Yeah, keep going, trying to find those, list of those initial.
Oh, where I just was?
Yeah. No, there's that Thomas. The names I was talking, the initial director.
Oh, yeah, because he was the deputy budget director at the time, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think, and I wasn't there at the time either.
Mm-mm. And that's it.
So right now, I think it is properly set up because Ben's not the deputy anymore, it's ex officio, so it's Mark, and then, but we want to change that now to be director.
Budget director, correct.
Okay. All right, then we'll have to do amendment to city incorporation and then we can amend the bylaws. Again, not a big deal.
I guess,
When Tim Myers was above that. Yeah, okay.
so I guess, Bob,
Are you about to ask? Oh, no, it was okay. As long as, I mean, I know Ben wasn't sitting here at all these meetings,
Yeah.
but it's, oh, go back up again. Does it say? Purpose is, yeah, okay, it's all ex officio.
Yeah.
Yes, so I thought you were about to ask, like, has Mark been able to fill it all this time, but yeah, it's ex officio. Yeah.
yeah, all right. I mean, if everybody's okay with that, I think one of, I'm not sure what the intention of having deputy budget director, considering that all others are
I think it was because, if I'm recalling this correctly,
Yeah.
people wanted Ben Swankamp on,
specific.
on
Yeah.
the link for
Yes,
this.
I wanted to be on it
Yeah.
and start. And I think
Makes sense.
Bob's been looking to retire for a while, and I think that you do that, so why start with him, just have to replace.
Right.
And Ben was, yeah, Ben might do it anyway.
All right, cool.
So that, I don't know if we get this timely done by. I'll get moving on it.
Yeah.
And move,
Got some time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
we need a motion on that, an action.
No, that's in the committee, so you could.
If you want to have a motion to,
Switch it out.
and second to authorize council to prepare an amendment to the certificate of incorporation and the bylaws allowing changing the position from deputy budget director to budget director.
I will make that motion.
Nice.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I,
Courtney, you got that?
Yes, I got bits and pieces, but it's all recorded.
glad you got it.
Okay, that was the bylaws, and then Melissa had emailed me about 4 questions, I think, which came out of your prior meeting. Do you want me to kind of dive into those?
Yeah.
And your questions are on the last page of that packet.
Are there the same questions that I have?
Yes,
Okay.
same email.
All right, so Melissa had a government committee met yesterday, discussed the bylaws and some of the policies, and questions came up. So question 1, procurement policy, section 3. Contracts will be awarded to the lowest responsible dollar offerer. And the question was, the committee is wondering which should state an exception here for the professional services that would like be selected based off of the most qualified. We can certainly make that change, so we can add that.
That was one of your.
Yeah, it's like the Brooksville procurement, like engineering services, you choose most qualified, not low price. So
Yeah.
That really was the issue when you're doing professional services.
We'll make that a change and amend it when you approve it in March. According to
Next month, yep, March.
March, okay. That change is easy. Disposition of property guidelines, section 3. This section keeps referencing positions like contracting officer. So Melissa is the contracting officer. I don't know. I think it's in one of the resolutions we would have done. If it's not that clear, no big deal. We can, when we approve all the officers again at the annual meeting, just like we'll have a freedom of information law officer, we'll have a contracting
Mhm.
officer. We'll have a list of names there.
I think that's just an edit.
Yeah, that probably was overkill. I mean, you would only need that if there was any dispositions we had with respect to New York State property. I don't know if it harms us that, I'll reread it. It may be a total typo. I don't have it in front of me right now. You want to pull it up and we can just split the sense of it now. You got it quickly.
The bylaws?
No, sorry, the disposition of property guidelines.
Hmm. Oh, I have that one.
He's looking for that. Let's do the fourth, number 4. That's easy. The investment policy. It's referencing a REIT.
Property disposition, I think. Yeah.
Yep, there you go. Okay. See if you can you search that?
Yeah,
Section 3.
mm, this portion.
Yeah, okay, D, sales by the commission of general service. When the corporation shall be deemed that transfer of property by the commissioner will be advantageous, you know what, that, when the sales, that, I'm gonna eliminate that whole section. Let me, hang on, I'm still on, sales by the commissioner of general services. Sales by the commission, that's New York State. When the corporation shall and deemed that transfer of property New York State will be advantageous to state New York. The corporation may enter an agreement with the commissioner, pursuant to which commissioner may dispose of property of the corporation under such terms and conditions. All right, so that's probably, that's a real extraneous thing. It's not really gonna probably ever happen. I don't know if it hurts us to have it in there. I doubt that backpacking will ever rise where we want that in our policy.
I'm thinking, what is, it's like surplus?
It could be,
Cause I know OGS does manage like the state surplus and all that other stuff, and then if we, same property, I don't think they're disposing of something, I'm struggling to see how it applies.
and I don't think we'd ever want to own property for any reason. We're either only, right, we're not looking to buy property for any of our operations. We're only ever gonna take easements or licenses.
Yeah.
So maybe we can just strike that entire section D. I'm okay with that.
And then can we search a commissioner, just in case it pops up?
Yeah, can you slide back up, Courtney? A little bit more.
This is the first one.
Yeah.
Can you go up again? Corporation shall publish an annual report listing all property, okay. Like report should, the report should. And should deliver copies, okay, so that's statutory. If we were in the business of selling properties, we would be doing this, but that's not. We don't do that, so let's keep that in, but we can get rid of the other section.
And how many more times, commissioner?
And
Oh, no.
So that would have to do, if I eliminate that section, that might have some ripple effect, like that doesn't make any sense now if we get rid of
Usually
it.
held board by the Commissioner of General Services.
Yeah. Yep, that we can do that.
That might be the better way to leave it, but just take out reference to the Commissioner of General Services.
So that section will go in its entirety, we'll get rid of D.
yeah, that helps. That's it.
Okay. So we'll do, we'll make those changes, and then, will this committee meet again, or will
Yeah.
it'll be one more time?
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll have a red line for you guys, okay.
Sorry, I missed the Mark Barnell discussion. Can we go back to them? So,
So the short of it was, when the corporation was created, Ben Swankamp was the driving force, and he was the deputy director. So
Right.
that's why
right.
his position, next figure is deputy, whereas everybody else is the actual director.
Mhm.
If the desire is to change that, because Mark's also about to become regular director, not deputy, we can do that. So we'll have to amend the certificate of incorporation and the bylaws.
Is there any, can we consider, so Mark clearly didn't have me in mind when we formed ErieNet.
And Mike said, was.
Yeah, Mike Siragusa, and so I'm wondering, and there are people who are better equipped
Let's bring
in
Mike
my
back.
office,
Bring Mike back.
you know.
Yeah, 2 weekends we go down to Savannah, Georgia.
Can it be budget director or their designee, county attorney or their designee? Or does that get to,
Well, that's not really a legal issue, right? That's kind of, I mean, the Mike.
well, it's possible then.
Yeah,
You can do that.
yeah, yes.
So it wouldn't even occur to me until Mark Parnell said what he said. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's taken me a year and a half to figure out what we do.
When you figure it out, tell me.
Yeah. You know, I'm the county attorney, but, and then likewise, Mark won't always be the budget director. So there might be somebody better you know, it's just a thought.
Of course, everybody's ex officio, but you know, you're not sentenced here. You're here as ex officio kind of thing.
Right.
Not as in your individual capacity.
Right. So the question is, can it be?
It could be. I mean, I can tell you that I've had a lot of different corporations and just not an infrequent request, right? And the push.
My request is.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've had it come up before, with other entities.
so I'm not crazy.
No, you're not
That's what
crazy
you
at all.
said.
I mean, some of the pushback I heard, and this is like these are the business, you're not legal, is you're doing important things, you want that, who you want
Yeah.
here, you don't
Correct.
want people disappointing over needs, and then who really is taking responsibility and ownership, and then the member, the county execs that are going, what's going on in my corporation.
Right.
That's the reason why that doesn't happen.
Okay, I'll keep struggling.
Oh,
Oh, thanks.
okay. So that was, we did bylaws. We are going to put the change into procurement policy for Dan Castle's suggestion. We will amend the property disposition policy as we just discussed. Let's do the next easiest one. The investment policy, a repurchase agreement, that's a very specific financing document. We would probably never do that. But
It just seemed like it was an odd thing I'm reading, and
it's a thing though.
I'd never heard it.
Yeah, I mean, it gets thrown in because. Well, it just gets thrown in, you're an LDC, here's what LDC, you know, we're trying to say, if you have extra monies, what can you do with it? This is a thing that LDCs do. I mean, LDC's never done it, but.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's an extra tool. You'll probably never, ever need it or want it. I can take it out, or you can just leave it in and let it just sit there.
What does it allow us to do? Repurchase property?
Yeah, it's like securities. So.
Right.
Notes or something like that, if you were had some financing reason to do it, which you wouldn't have, you're not,
What would be a scenario where?
you need cash. Like you would sell something for cash and then you would buy it back with your eyes wide open for a more expensive price, but you need the cash now. That's kind of what a repurchase figure, so it's authorizing to do that. You're never gonna do that.
Yeah.
You don't even have securities or land or anything. Some LDCs could.
Right.
I mean, like, for instance, let's say somebody donated you a bunch of stock when they died, which this corporation can take gifts, and you're gonna get income from that. And then you're like, oh my gosh, we need cash, I'm gonna sell this thing. The top, no, can't sell it. I gotta sell it to some third person, cause I desperately need the cash, and then third person, I'll buy it back to you for 10% more a year from now. It just never would happen, but it's
Right.
permissible.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why we include something you never use, but we could tie the hands of a future board that may be making a decision that we're not comprehending that.
It's our conversation from last month, and
Yeah.
25 years from now.
Yeah, right, exactly, yes. So,
It's in the ILDC bylaws. too,
yeah,
if it makes
so
you-
I don't, I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, then back to the bylaws, which are already amending, so what the heck, we might as well amend them again. So the specific request bylaws, section 2, and I think these are in package 2. Yeah. Bylaws, section 2, terms of office. All right. The committee would like to add that officers will be reappointed annually. I think they already are. Section 2. And see where the change.
I think that was the problem, it wasn't the term.
And I think it's in there too. The officers shall be appointed, oh, no, the directors of the community office. Oh, we don't have the officers. Oh, yeah, can you pull up the officers? Sorry, I don't see it.
Nope, that's okay.
So you can-
You know what? I had this all in last month's
so It's
meeting.
Article 5, Section 2.
Hmm.
sorry, Article 5. Section 2.
I think I might have gone too far.
Okay, and then go to section 2. The officer shall be appointed by the board at its annual meeting. So your annual meeting is already March. Well, double check that. See if the word March appears, if we gave it a. What's it?
I didn't miss that. Maybe we meant directors.
See, or see if the word annual meeting appeared. I think the bylaws say the annual meeting shall be the meeting of
Let's say the term of the officer.
oh, within 6 months. Okay, here we go. The member shall hold an annual meeting of the corporation 6 months after the end of each fiscal year. At the annual meeting, okay, so right now, we're calendar year, right? Fiscal year?
Mhm.
That's where calendar, so right now, the annual meeting shall hold an annual meeting within 6 months. Okay, so anytime within 6 months, you can declare, you can do it in March or April or May.
I think that was the things we wanted to do in March.
I know, but I'm wondering if,
Yeah, we're determining whether we want the independent directors to be annual.
Oh,
Not the officers.
maybe the typo is on the, what? Yeah,
Now I don't remember.
Yeah.
Because.
I didn't bring my notes for next time. but-
Yeah, we have ex officio, so that doesn't matter.
right,
Then we have the independent directors, and we have the officers, which were addressed just now, so maybe they need directors last time?
Maybe it was director.
Yeah.
We got all the tangent about what was the director, what wasn't it,
and when does the director position start? So maybe that's what maybe this is the typo.
so we're also looking to add
Right.
more
And
directors.
or,
okay, so right now, your provision of the board, Article 3, the board of directors, number, election term. The number of directors shall be no less than 7 and no more than 15. Each director shall be appointed by and serve at the pleasure of the member. So that's the county executive.
And so maybe we were saying that they need to be appointed.
No, so you wouldn't need, director shall hold off until his or her successor is appointed by the member. So you're appointed until you're
unemployed.
or you resign. But yeah, you're unappointed, right?
oh, and it talks about within 1 year of appointment. It's in B.
All directors of the board shall participate in training. That'd be,
Within 1 year appointment. All right,
That was a training we had to
Right.
follow within 1 year.
right.
So the question, Bob, is the will of the committee to have the directors be appointed annually?
so we'd have to,
Go back.
okay, the reason we don't want to do that is because this is one of the reasons why we're strongly affiliated with Erie County for a whole bunch of reasons, because the county through, as the sole member, acting line through the county exec is controlling the board. So that's,
So there are no terms.
right,
There's just no terms. You
Right.
serve at the pleasure.
Yeah.
Unless you're ex officio, in which case you're serve at the pleasure
Yeah.
because of your job.
Insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I think maybe I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Okay.
but if Melissa's question was correct, so bylaw, section 2, terms of office, committee like to add to this section that the officer will be reappointed at the annual meeting, and she put March. So I don't know if you want to get that specific. You
No.
can make any meeting. You
Right.
want to, because if you have a snowstorm, now you're.
Yeah, it's just good.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I think.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright.
So then her next question, bylaws. Section 5 and 7 state you must give 10-day notice for special and regular meetings to the board. Can this be reduced to 5? Yes, there's no reason why it can't be reduced to 5. And you guys remember too, is, if we could call a meeting of the board of directors for 3 o'clock today, you just need waivers. If you can't get proper notice, but in any event, if we want to reduce, so I think, can you go to
It's right here.
Article 3, Section 7?
Oh.
Let's just walk through, make sure we got it
Mhm.
correct. Oh, there you go. I think you're there.
I thought I was too.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Article 3. Section 7. Keep going down. There you go. So we have not less than 10 days, no more than 50 days. So so that's for a regular meeting. Do you want to change that from 10 to 5? I think that was the question.
Sounds like. Yes.
Okay, we can make that 5. Then
But that's notice to the member, maybe Mark, maybe the county executive.
But
Notice to any.
so this section is just for, there is a member section too, but let's do the directors first.
Okay.
Regular meeting of the board of directors may be called at any time by the majority of directors or by the chair. Notice of each meeting to the director shall take the place, time, blah, blah, blah. Such notice shall be given you personally by mail or email to the member of the board of directors, not less than 10, which we're not going to strike and make it 5.
So their member means the board.
Yes, a member of the board of directors, yeah. Okay, so you make that 5, then,
I'm sorry, but you might want to just say to a member. The member makes it sound like it's.
oh, yeah,
County executive.
yeah.
Dan Castle would normally.
It's awesome,
He
but
must be sleeping.
Is your mom and dad an teacher?
no,
Okay, no, he's just.
no.
It's totally unknown why he's like that. You didn't go to law school.
No, I spent most of my life writing proposals where you had to make sure you said everything.
That's a big joke in my family because my mom is a teacher and I remember, of course, freshman year, I got the snappy, not even my government professor. I'm like, I'm gonna get worried about that. Then senior year, I write my thesis. I get the snot kicked out of me on the draft and I'm yelling at, not yelling, I'm like, I am the son of. How good
Oh, you're talking to.
The audacity.
But you know, the more you gotta learn, right? You
Yeah,
gotta get
yeah.
humbled, you never get better. So, okay. We'll do more. Okay, then
Word better.
Courtney, can you find reference to special, there we go, the special meeting of the board of directors may be called at any time by a majority of the directors, chair, executive, or executive, for any reason. At least 1 day's notice. Okay, so we have 1 day there. I take it you're probably fine with that, right? Okay. Now go to Article 2, which will be
No,
for the member. Oh, you're right there. Go to Article 2, Section 5.
Oh, I'm
This is not the
sorry.
member section,
right
which
there.
is the county exec. Special meeting of, oh, well, okay, then let's see, when's the regular meeting? Can you go up a little bit more? Oh, annual. Okay, so the member really only meets once unless he calls a special meeting. And so the member meeting, it's timed at the same place that the annual meeting, the board of directors will meet, so that's okay.
So Mark, the county executive has a meeting.
Once a year, he has to hold a meeting.
Has he done that yet?
This will be the Martian.
Okay.
I think that's what we'll just anticipate, right? I think they can be one and the same. right?
Yeah, and then we'll have to call them separately, but we'll have Mark, me,
And
and.
Mark has to be here physically for that.
Thanks.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna.
No,
call
I
him
agree, it should be.
I'm not sure if she anticipated.
Yeah, exactly.
Thought she thought you two were doing it.
Should be really, the only thing.
I could talk to her.
Can't think of any,
Yeah.
but we're
Okay.
supposed to,
Percent.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, it doesn't have to be here, right? We could do that up in his office.
Oh, yeah, right. But if you're gonna do a board meeting here, you must do it the same place.
So Melissa has a vision of what she wants to annual. It's more of a part business, part presentation to reflect on, the progress of ErieNet, so that we can add that, couple that with the county executive being here, because she anticipated that he'd be here for that meeting soon. So just do all in one annual meeting, initial member annual meeting, do it all.
They're just like the back and forth.
Yeah, like that, I would think.
You'll prepare everything, so Mark's not crabby.
It's allowing that to be on the same ad script versus
Let's hope
the
so.
last meeting, off script, I didn't even know where the chair would go.
Who's the chair? Keating wasn't.
Yeah, but he had a perfectly prepared script and then he started
It
ad
just
libbing.
started ad-libbing.
Wisconsin.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Bob.
You know the date?
Yeah, I think it's
The guy you had living.
the 19th. Yeah, yeah. I'll reach out after this meeting.
Do we can reach out to Megan. Don't need to call anything about
Doesn't matter,
Date and time, is there a time on March 19th?
2:00.
Yeah, I'll circle back with you.
Yeah, why don't you do, okay, yeah. Just-
I mean, nothing's been advertised other than you guys got the schedule in December, so I mean, it could be another time if it needs to be.
We all go.
I mean,
Yes.
that's-
Doesn't take a lot of money.
Very little. Oh, we tip well.
Quality, quality.
Per hair.
We all go that Scott.
All right.
Go to section 5, it's a slide down or the special meeting here. So why don't we make that one day be consistent with what we have in the bylaws for the board of directors, special meeting on Monday's notice? Okay. And then go to section 7. Sliding down. Okay, not less than 10, so we should make that 5 days there too. And then it's consistent with, every half of the board of directors. Everybody follow that? So
Mhm.
the member and the board of directors have the same notice provisions, whether it's a regular or a special meeting. Okay. All right, we'll do a markup of that. I think that was, I think that was it.
And you think him and Larry spent this much time on it?
I was thinking that when I was looking through all these things today. There's no way,
In fact, it's a.
I know a little bit about
None.
Oh, you do know a little bit.
that. How crazy is that meeting?
Huh?
Is the meeting crazy?
I wasn't at it.
how was fun, is with. We're talking about that other, I'd rather not discuss that.
Still on the record.
We're on record here. We'll discuss that later.
All right, so then do you wanna, I don't think you need to do anything, you just give me busy work. When we come back, we can motion to accept.
Yeah.
it.
At the March meeting in anticipation of approving it.
Mhm.
In the back.
Mhm.
Do we want to? So number 5 is the discussion about the public access to records policy.
Our foot.
FOIA policy, I think it's pretty straightforward.
I just had one question on,
We have them, right? I think.
I got that from Andrew, because it was more or less just the template in our,
Oh, because we never had approved it?
right, because
Okay.
we didn't have Melissa at the time.
Okay.
in section 2, designate a records access officer. Maintain, number A2. Maintain a record setting forth the name, public office address, title, and salary of every officer or employee of the corporation. Is that the salary from, that we get from the corporation, or is
Yeah.
that salary from,
The former, the corporation.
just from the corporation?
Right.
So we don't get salary from the corporation. Right, that, I just was curious what.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Good if we voted it down.
You can find it anyways. So that's really, good. I mean,
Who's our foils field?
oh, I did have one other.
Melissa,
No, Melissa's the foil officer in the
Yeah,
first
I'm the
instance.
appeal.
You're the foil officer.
Yeah.
And did we had, are we tracking that, Courtney? I know we had that freedom of information law request.
Tracking it as
I
in,
know we put in the 5-day response, we said within 20.
and she responded to that gentleman.
Oh, did she give him what he wanted to?
I think so, yeah.
Because we had, then we gave ourselves.
I'll check
20
with her.
days and it's business days.
Yeah.
We've actually kicked it way out. Till
I'll
March.
check with her and see if he even responded to her original
Okay.
response. Yeah.
No.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
No, it just came in like. I'll circulate it. So,
Okay.
but- oh, take it.
I did have one other question. This is like the son of the English teacher question. So it's section 4E. I don't, you have it in front of you, 4E.
Everyone
I
should.
just don't understand the sentence. A failure to determine an appeal within 10 business days of its receipt by granting access to the records shall or fully explain the reasons for the denial of writing shall constitute a denial of the appeal.
That enables them to sue us. So you can't ignore it.
A failure to determine an appeal
Right.
So we
shall
don't,
constitute a denial of the appeal.
Right, so that starts their clock for filing an Article 70. So if you fail to respond and go like this, whoop,
Yeah.
Automatically.
they can still sue you.
Why don't you just say that in plain English?
Because that's taken from the statute.
Oh.
Right, I assume that's taken from the
Oh,
statute.
It just seems like failure to determine an appeal is a denial of the appeal, like, denying your appeal just because.
Well, that would be way too easy.
I know, but that's how my simple brain understood it.
well, there's a lot of governors that don't want to deal with it, so they will never respond, say, sue us if you're serious.
Yeah.
Seriously, probably go.
Yeah, so, all right, if that's the way you're,
I had to step outside because the sheriff ignored it before the appeal. So they got sued, so that's what I was dealing with. So that's why, it's written the way it's written, so they don't just ignore it.
all right,
But you're right, it could have been written better.
written by lawyers, so.
State legislature.
Been much better.
Yeah, right.
That's all the only question I have. Question.
Until next, I will do it the next governance.
Yeah, so the next governance committee we could do in one omnibus resolution. We can list all 20 policies to approve and or approve as amended. And we'll just list them all in the minutes.
Yeah. That works, yeah.
And then the committee would approve that, send it to the
Yeah.
director. Yeah,
All right, great.
great.
All right, so we got 10 more minutes here before the board meeting. So MWB policy update discussion. So I don't think there were any changes from the county's policy.
Was there one? So we had talked about on a within the procurement policy, adding a provision about, because we don't have a standalone MWB policy for this operation. We do require all of our contractors to meet MWBE guidelines, and we kind of strongly recommend. And just so everybody knows, I think we feel really comfortable that with one contractor alone, we met that requirement. But then we had the challenge of, okay, just because we met it doesn't mean we can ignore it for everybody else. So all of our other contractors have requirements to best efforts and all that. And we're evidencing that not at the time of contract award, but it's going to be trued up when invoices come. Sure. And this is a work in progress here. Then we were trying to figure, okay, well, what? And I think we have worked out, although we got to check with, I think, or maybe this is where we're at. We were going to try to give ECC, our contractor, something so they could solicit a response. Hey, did you comply with what were your efforts to? Then Thomas, then the question I think became, okay, suppose the company comes back and we learn they truly did nothing to try to, versus somebody said, I really tried, I couldn't find anybody for these reasons. Did we want to give somebody the authority to waive it, or how do we deal with it after the fact? And then I think that's where we got a little sidetracked. Well, let's say the company does, and how do we implement? How do we put that into a policy versus just ad hoc that everybody should get them? So I'm not sure if we totally grasp.
And what gives the county the teeth is the disparity study to substantiate the percentages based on the county. So we aren't there yet with the county side. So I think we were waiting to see what the outcome of that was before we settled on our policy would be. Because like you just said, they are aspirational at best, and then, organization doesn't apply, company doesn't apply, what team do we have? Do we need that? So there lies the question. So, I mean, because we're independent, we could, we can carve out whatever we want, but we want it to make sense based on, again, what the county's doing. And because of how we're structured.
If we are already in compliance, some sort of a global, I don't know, money out the door percentage sort of thing. Do we need to decide before? Can't we wait for the disparity study?
I don't see why not. I mean, like Bob said, we are being diligent to make sure that whoever we contract with knows that it's a priority.
Right.
And our largest, contract, I think, is CLW right now. And I think they're in and of themselves right now. So, if we are comfortable with, ErieNet watching and being aggressive about who we hire and why we hire them and it's a W's, then I'm comfortable waiting until the outcome of the county's, whole process until we make a more firm decision.
Yeah, I think we can take a little more comfort than what you might normally think you could, because we know we kind of have this in the back pocket for the entire contract where we've met the goals, I think, with CLW. I think that's true.
Yeah, and if not, I know for a fact that they're him, and that's one of the reasons why they were chosen.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so.
So then the only, okay, so, when do you think the disparity study might come out with that?
That's all. Yeah, I mean, I was on the committee, the selection committee. It's still like a year ago almost, so. I can confirm,
I don't need, what department is,
EEO.
okay. Kristen was involved, and I haven't heard anything else.
Yeah, she was on the committee too, back with me, Kristen Blackwell on that.
Yeah.
That was a long time forever. So, but I'll confirm what the time frame is for that to be completed.
But theoretically, then the recommendation from our committee would be that we, because we are in compliance as of today, that we sort of forestall any adopted policy till after the county receives the study and implements policies commensurate with the results of the study.
Then I think that just as a whole practical matter is the way to go, because what otherwise would you tell your contractors? to do?
Right.
What is the goal?
Right.
No.
And
Don't like
what if you
force
don't
it.
do it? Yeah, it sounds too complicated to me, so.
Okay.
Oh, in person.
So then when the disparity study is completed in the county.
How are you?
Well, worked out with Andrew. Policy back at some point in time to be sure, if that's where we decide to put it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's a quick answer. Hey, Jack.
Oh, that's right.
I'm sorry, do you have an extra pen?
Oh, yeah.
Getting on a tour of Boston. And see all stands that was possible, and go back on the following, we could not this in Boston. There, Bruce and his wife.
No.
Yeah. I'm like, in all the places in all the world.
I get my vacation.
But yeah, I didn't.
So basically, he's a tower, he just pounded it all.
Well, he says that.
Missy be able to join us?
Yeah, she's going to. They're finishing up this governance committee.
Okay.
So to give us some time. Back. All right.
The time you're gonna talk about here is I can leave.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't planning on sticking around for the board meeting. Unless we didn't need me for it. Okay.
Is your gear up already?
I don't even know what the contract is for. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but.
Right.
I haven't looked at it in a year.
Oh, it's good stuff.
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, Bob, I guess before you leave, I guess the question on the table, is their preference to be under agreement that we have right now or active contract? And if there's
Yeah,
a distinction that we want to draw, is there?
So I work a lot, we work a lot of municipalities.
Yeah.
Erie County already has a signed contract.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else that I'm even contracted with, it's always through engagements and
That's
that's
what I thought, but
Right.
yeah.
I guess I guess that's the question on the table. And so if you wanted to add any color to,
Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't change day-to-day business.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be a document, I think for the sake of a document that really isn't, not in my opinion. There can be these things.
No.
What is the word? I thought that-
It's a term, that's what I thought. No, there was.
It's being-
I don't think there.
I just remember the word pro bono.
Now
that you mentioned that, come out.
It's Latin for something.
Something, yeah, I don't know what.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think there was a
so
term.
we watch it. Dan was just saying, you know, if there, we would, as ErieNet, go out, you know, like in 3 years. And, just, but,
The question is there any issue, because this letter here was dated over a year ago. November 2022.
no, this is the current engagement letter that we're functioning under right now.
Mhm.
Oh, from November 2022.
Right,
Okay, I thought this was one we were considering.
no,
No, the issue on the table is whether or not we want to enter into a formal contract instead of working underneath.
Under this.
Certain engagement letter. Gosh, Bob is saying essentially.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, the term, I don't think there is a term.
I don't think so either, that's right.
Then you look at your procurement policy,
Right.
they got terms set up.
yeah.
Some agencies do, but we have X number of years, or like PCIA, every 5 years is not.
Good.
Thanks, Bob.
Motion to adjourn if you need.
Okay.
I'll move. I